Hi guys, so we're going to go over how to log into your SportsWare account and all of your paperwork and what you need to complete each year. New athletes and returners, you are going to follow similar steps. Returners, your information you're just going to mostly check over, but we'll get to that as we log in. So you're always going to use your Oneonta email address. Mine's already up there, but it's always at oneonta.edu. We've gotten rid of the at suny.oneonta.edu. And most of you will have to do the reset password, and you can just follow the directions within your email once you do that. So let me get logged in here. And when you log in, it will look like this. So you're going to ignore this right here. This is an inaccurate explanation of what you need to complete. You're always going to start up within My Info. So returners, most of this will all be filled in. So newbies, new athletes, please fill in anything that has a red asterisk next to it. Make sure your first name is your full name, not a nickname, not abbreviated name, nothing like that. I need a full name so that when I make a doctor's appointment, I'm giving them your full legal name. You probably will not be able to change it, but just email me and I will make those changes into your account. ID, double check your ID number. It is always your A number. And we will make sure that is correct. Social Security number, I always need that for making doctor's appointments. Class is when you graduate. It is not the incoming class you're coming into. So, I mean, if you're graduating in 2020, that's what you select. Your gender and your date of birth. If you do not have a Social Security number, but you have a visa number, that number goes in with the Social Security number. And as you go through, I mean, if you want to put your athlete picture in, you're welcome to. It is not a requirement. Make sure that your sport is correct. And just ignore the rest down below. So when you click through the tabs, again, double check and make sure all your information is complete. Returners, new athletes, complete all the information. Phone is your home phone number. Your primary address is your home address, not your address here at SUNY Oneonta. Cell phone is your cell phone number. Do not put any email addresses in, as sometimes it overrides the system as your login email. Emergency, when you get into emergency, it is whoever you want us to contact if in case there is an emergency or a severe injury. So if it's your mom, your dad, a parent, guardian, whoever, your family friend, it's whoever you want us to call that you want involved in your care. And complete everything. Not everybody has a home phone number anymore, and that's okay. Put in the cell phone number again, or you can put a dash, but try and complete all the fields that have a red asterisk next to it. As you go through the tabs, you're welcome to continue to hit save so that you don't lose as you go through everything. If you do, you just keep going back into My Info and just pick up where you left off. Getting to insurance tab, bring out your insurance card and you will be filling in all your primary insurance information. If you have a secondary insurance card, go ahead and also fill in all of the information associated with that card as well. It's going to be the company's address, which most insurance cards have a claims address on the back side of the card, and fill that in. Phone number for the insurance. Policyholder is whoever the insurance is through. So if it's through your mom's information goes in. If it's through your dad's information goes in. If it's through you, if you have Medicaid, Medicare, or SUNY Oneonta's schools insurance, it's your information that goes in here. Date of birth is whoever the insurance policyholder's date of birth is. ID is the policy ID for the insurance, not your A number or your Oneonta email address. Not all insurances have a policy or plan number, and that's okay. If it has a policy, go ahead and put it in. If it doesn't, put a dash. Down at the bottom is where you're going to upload pictures of your card front and back. We prefer PDF files, as when we sometimes have to send things over to our doctor's office in an emergency, they cannot open JPEG files. So you need to make sure when you're using the Cam Scanner app, which there's going to be a video also attached that you need to watch in order how to use the Cam Scanner. It's a fairly easy program to use. However, I know some people get a little confused with it. So when you email everything to yourself, you're going to choose the PDF option. Or if you use a scanner at home, scan it as a PDF. And you'll just choose the file, click choose file, find it on your computer, click OK, select it, click OK, and click add, and it'll pop up right there. So going back to the top, going through into medical, all of your alerts are, if you have no known drug allergies, you just start to go ahead and type it in. Most things are in there. If it's not in there, like let's say you're allergic to apples, and actually apples is already in there. Let's say you're allergic to a dog fur, so you have a dog allergy. Obviously, we don't need to know if you're allergic to dogs, as we don't have dogs around us, but I'm just using it as an example because not everything in the world is within these drop-down menu. So, I mean, you can type it in and it'll be there for us. But you keep on typing in if you have any food allergy, so if you have a kiwi allergy, if you are gluten intolerant, obviously, as you can see, gluten isn't in there. But this is also a way for your coaches to see if they need to avoid certain foods, especially on the road, and it's good for us to know. The Tdap immunization is your tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis immunization, and it's on an 8 to 10 year cycle. So most of you should have had it about 8 to 10 years ago. And you put that date in, and down into drugs and medications, it's any medications that you take daily. So if you take ibuprofen every once in a while or Tylenol every once in a while, I don't really need to know that. It's anything that you ingest on a daily basis. So if you take Adderall on a daily basis, we need to know that. If you take a multivitamin, any supplements, anything that you ingest medically to help your body, that needs to go in there with the dosage as well as how often you take it. We also need your doctor's name and phone number to contact them in case we have any questions regarding your care. Getting to the paperwork tab. This is your checklist. This is where you check to see if what you have handed in and what you have completed and what you need to complete. Now, you need to know that SportsWare does not automatically put a date in. Me and my staff are the ones that actually go in and review all of the files that you guys upload and put on the website for us to see. We review it. As long as it's okay, we'll accept it. And most times, even if it is not okay, we will accept it anyways and email you with any problems or if you need to change anything. But then we'll go ahead and put dates in once you complete those items for verification. And as you're done, you click save. Anytime that you're not missing anything that has a red asterisk next to it, you'll see it pop up right here of exactly what you need to go and complete. And it goes by tabs. So obviously the general one is going to be the social security number, gender, and so on and so forth. So you'll be able to click through. So going back into on your dashboard or your main page, the next place you need to go is your medical history. And you go in there, and I know this looks pretty long, but it's required, and it asks pretty pertinent questions that we need to know in order to give you the best care possible. And all of them are drop-down yes, no answers. So if it's a yes answer, elaborate a little bit on why it's a yes answer. So if you have epilepsy, say you have epilepsy and you take an anti-seizure medication, obviously you'll be able to give me the actual medication name and dosage, put it in there for me, and when you were diagnosed with epilepsy, those type of things. If you take birth control, make sure that's also put in there, especially on your medical page and the tab. make sure that's put in for your daily medications. Don't put any information up top here. As we review it, we'll put in our names and change the date to when we review it. The next thing you need to do is go into forms. When you go into forms, you'll find the annual forms packet. And those of you that are 17 years old, if you actually go back out, just click OK, you'll need to print those forms. So you just need to select it, open it, and click download and print it off. Both you and your parents need to sign every single form, and you'll need to scan and upload them to this page. Those that are 18 years old and older, you'll be able to electronically sign every page. So you'll just go through and sign everything. Anytime where it says the date or the student athlete's signature, it is your A number. So don't just put A and the number sign. Actually put in your A number and go through every page that has everything, and make sure everything's complete on every page before you save and submit. So when you save and submit, I'm just going to quickly go through so that you actually can see what it looks like. I'm just typing in information right now just to have something in the field so this form will accept it. If you do not do this correctly, I will put up another annual forms packet for you. And it automatically, for the most part, it will carry over your A number, and you'll just need to make sure that you read and sign every single form in here. Pages 3 and 4 are more informational pages on sickle cell testing and trait testing. If you're born in New York State, you were tested at birth, and your doctor can request those records from the Department of Health. If you do not want to provide those records, you will need to sign every year the sickle cell testing waiver. Again, I'm just going through and filling in so that way I can show you. And then when you get done filling out all the forms, you're going to click Save and Submit, fill in your name, then you acknowledge, you're going to submit it. Okay, you know that it's not going to make any changes, and you're going to submit. So when you get back to it, it'll say that status is signed. Once I go in, it'll say accepted. It'll have changed the date of when I actually accept it, and so on. So then when you click, after that, click OK. Next part is your insurance acknowledgement form. This one you need an actual signature from yourself and your parent or guardian. No electronic or typed signatures are allowed for this form. So it needs to be what they call wet signatures now. Make sure it's fully completed. Read the fine print and everything else. Just know that we do not have a secondary insurance policy, and that everything is underneath your primary insurance. If any bills are not covered by your primary insurance, you are liable for those costs associated with injuries for athletics. Once you complete that, you'll be able to go back into forms, but I'll actually go over this real quick. These are just informational packets on concussion, the fact sheet for it that you should read before you complete your annual forms, as well as the concussion management guidelines. This just goes over exactly how we treat your concussion and getting you back into the field of play. The skin evaluation sheet is only for those that are wrestlers that have chronic skin conditions such as eczema or psoriasis, and it'll allow us, when we go through meets, to go through the process a little bit quicker through skin checks. So wrestlers, please make sure you complete the skin evaluation sheet with your doctor, have your doctor complete it, and you'll upload it, scan and upload it into SportsWare. Next is the physician packet. And when you open that, this includes another checklist, which is the physical form, the verification, ADD, ADHD exception form, and it goes over a checklist of everything that you need to do. You can read through that on your own, as well as here's the physical form. This is the form that is only accepted. And please remember that you have to have a physical within 6 months of the start of your season. So whatever the first day of practice is, count back 6 months. If your physical falls outside of those dates, then you need to have another physical done with your primary physician. Here at SUNY Oneonta, we do not have, they do not complete physicals here on campus, and there are very few physicians in town that will complete physicals for you, and we actually prefer your physician to complete a physical with you, as they're more intimate with your medical history and how you are as a person health-wise. Make sure the form is fully complete. Some physicians forget to fill in the date of exam, so please make sure that is completed before you scan and upload it into SportsWare, as well as everything on the form is completed. If it's not, take it back to your doctor, have them complete the form fully. Next, it goes over more sickle cell information. Is on the form, they can verify your sickle cell information if they request it, or they order another blood test. Also, here at SUNY Oneonta, the Health and Wellness Center will do a sickle cell test for $15 for you. Next is the ADD, ADHD medication and medical exemption form. If you do not have ADD, ADHD, you do not need to complete this form. If you have it and do not take medication and do not plan on ever taking medication, you do not need to complete this form. It is only for those athletes that have ADD, ADHD, and take medication for it. The medication is a banned substance, so those of you that do take it and you are not you have not been diagnosed with it, it will pop positive on your drug test through our drug testing program, as well as through the NCAA, and you will lose 1 year of eligibility. The doctor needs to provide all this information. If you just hand them this information, they will provide it. We need to have all of your scales, as well as they need to complete the medical exception form. Going back into SportsWare, how you upload a form. You go back into forms. So what you'll need to upload is not only your front and back insurance card, which we already talked about underneath the insurance tab, but you'll need to upload your physical. If you are required a physical, especially new athletes, you all are required a physical. Returners, we will email you by the middle of May if you are required a physical for the next year. So a physical, the insurance acknowledgement form, any ADD, ADHD medications, and any other pertinent information that we may request, such as cardiologist clearances, orthopedic clearances, so on and so forth. So you just click Add, choose a file, and you'll find it on your desktop. And you click Open. You'll need to name it. And click OK. And it'll be uploaded. When you upload forms and sign forms, please email me or one of my staff members so that we can go in and view it. SportsWare does not tell us all of the time when everything is uploaded. It just sends us an email that you had changed something within your file. So it's a very generic email, and a lot of times it's finding a needle in the haystack. So you just keep on doing that of add, find your form, select it, upload it. Any questions, please don't hesitate to especially contact your coach or email me or my staff members. We would be happy to help you. But first, please view the video, read the directions. Everything that you need to know how to do all of this is right there. Any questions? See us, okay?